Hello traders and investors, welcome back to the Trend Trader channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some companies that will be paying dividends in the near future. We're just going to talk briefly about those company results, and then we'll look at the dividend information. This video won't cover the share price performance of these companies. So if you wish to buy these companies just because you want to receive the dividend, then make sure that you get more information about these companies. So these companies, they released their result this past week. So we are looking at the result that just came on the previous week. So the first company that we're gonna be talking about is Coronation Fund Managers. So Coronation Fund Managers, they manage people's money. It could be pension money, or it could just be investment money. Some of these companies, they are normally assessed based on their asset under management. So since it's because it's an investing company, the investors want to see these companies keep on receiving funds from more customers so that their asset under management can increase. So enough about that. What we want to look at is how this company has performed in the past. We're just not gonna we're not gonna look at their income statement. We're just gonna look briefly on their result and what the result mean in the bigger picture, and then we're gonna look at the dividend information. So then again, looking at Coronation, we can see that their asset under management it's sitting at around 602 billion. So that is a lot of money that this company is managing. And then it is always important for you to focus on the earnings per share, because every time a company pays a dividend, that is where the money is going to come from. So again, looking at earnings per share, you can see that the earnings per share, they increased to R1.65, which is good considering that it's an earnings growth. But we are not here for the earnings, we are here for the dividend. And then you can see that they are going to pay a dividend of R1.65. That's the dividend that they have declared. And then when are they going to pay that dividend? So if you look here on this Twitter account, there is already some dividend date. The dividend information is being tweeted as it comes, so that the people that want to get that information, they can get it in real time. So the dividend information for Coronation, if you want to receive the dividend, it means that you should have bought the shares at least on the 5th of December, and then the dividend payment is going to come on the 11th of December. Again, it's a dividend of R1.65, and then if you pay after paying tax, it's going to be R1.32. So that is a nice dividend that is going to come from Coronation Fund Managers. And then let us move on to another company. This one is Rhodes Foods Group. So if you are not familiar with the company, you may be familiar with the product that they sell. These products are available in most supermarkets. So again, what is important, we can see that the company has grown its revenue by 8.7%, and then we can see that they are going to pay a dividend of 62¢. But that dividend payment, it's a huge increase of about 35%. So that is something good that we see there. You see a company that is able to grow its revenue, even though it's a single digit growth. But then if you look at the earnings per share, in this case they are reporting earnings, headline earnings per share. I would be happy if they had reported basic earnings per share. Nonetheless, we see that diluted headlines earnings per share, they increased by 35%, which translates to about R1.85. So that is good. The people that focus on things like return on equity, you can see that the company also has a return on equity of about 15%, which is an increase from a previous 12.5%. You can see that the group turnover, it's growing from 2019 to 2023. Then it has a compound annual growth rate of just slightly below 10%. So that is something that is interesting to see there. And then the summary of those results, you can see that the last day to trade is January 2024, and then that dividend is going to be paid again is going to be paid on 22 January. We know that January usually is a cash crunch month. So if you want to ensure that you have some bit of cash, then you can consider buying Rhodes Foods Group. Remember, nothing here is a financial advice. We are just sharing information with interested investors. That is all. We are not recommending any stock. We're not saying you should buy any stock. We are just showing you the companies that have released their earnings. Okay, the other company that I want us to look at is Cap Agri, but now they have since changed their name to Cal Group. It's an agriculture company, or it has interest in different agricultural segments. So again, here they have made a nice summary of their result. You can see the revenue grew by 42% to 22 billion. So you can see that agriculture is one of those businesses where you can generate some decent profit there, and they've increased their earnings before tax to just slightly less 900 million rand there, and then which then you can see now their earnings per share. The earnings per share is a single digit growth, but it translates to 6 rand per share. So that is a nice growth in terms of rands, but in terms of percentage it's still a single digit growth there. And then the board decided to declare a dividend of 1 rand 30 cent, which is good. Remember, this is a pre-tax dividend. You still need to pay that 20% dividend withholding tax. So in summary, we can see that their revenue grew. They had revenue of 22 billion. They have earnings before tax, which is just slightly under 900 million. They have earnings per share of 6 rand 7 cent, and then they are paying a dividend of 1 rand 30 cent. And then again, if you go and look at their information there, we see that they are going to pay that 1 rand 30 cent, and then on top of that, the last day to buy these shares so that you can receive the dividend is 13 February 2024, and then that dividend is going to be paid in February 2024. So this is another nice company that you can buy so that you can receive some cash in your stock brokerage account in the beginning of year 2024. And then now moving forward, we're gonna look at Ronet. Ronet is a company that has interest in electronics and ICT. They're an engineering company. You can look at their revenue. It grew by 24%. Again, it's a nice double-digit growth there. And their profit for the year, it grew by 14%. Another double-digit growth. And then their basic earnings per share, it grew to about 5 rand 78 cent per share. It's also just a marginal double-digit growth there, but it's also nice to see that they're growing. And then the dividend, that the total dividend for the year is 3 rand 32 cent. But how much dividend did they declare? Just for the final result, because remember, those results, they include the dividend that was paid in the interim. So now if we look at the final dividend that they are going to pay, they are going to pay dividend of 2 rand 49 cent. That is the gross dividend. Once everything has been deducted tax wise, then you will receive the difference there. So the last company that we're gonna be looking at is Mr. Price Group. So it's becoming difficult to find the information on Mr. Price, because you have to sort of give them your information before you can access the summary of their result. But for the purpose of this video, remember, we are interested in the dividend that Mr. Price Group is going to pay. Unless you are interested in that information, then you can find those results just by giving them your information so that you can have access. But what we see is that Mr. Price is going to pay a gross interim dividend of just slightly below 2 rand 84 cent for the year that ended in September 2023. This is declared as a 9.3 decrease in comparison to the previous year. And then we know that we're going to pay that 20% dividend withholding tax. So the net dividend payment is 2 rand 26 cent. And then you need to ensure that you should have bought those shares by 11 December. And the dividend is going to be paid on the 18th of December. So yeah, in this video, we've given you a nice summary of some companies that will be paying dividends for that, either the dividends are going to be paid in December 2019 or the dividend is going to be paid in January or February 2024. You can find more information on these dividend payments by following this Twitter account. That is where those results are posted in real time as and when they come. So that's it for today's video. We hope that you found information, especially for dividend investors. If you found information that you consider to be useful, please consider subscribing in this channel and give us a thumbs up. We will see you in the next video.